Hey guys, I'm Pete with Pete's Window Washing. I'm the founder and owner. Um, so I want to go into something that I've been thinking about quite a bit. There's a lot of content there on YouTube, particularly about how to do things correctly. I don't know if you guys follow like Steve-O or Luke the Window Cleaner. We do a lot of window cleaning. These guys are very technically proficient, and I'm sure they're very successful in other ways to be successful in their industry. But something that I'm not hearing them talk about in particular is how to build rapport. Okay, so that's really key. So I I've had some really good technicians. They're really good. They're technically proficient, but they get a lot of redos. They have a lot of problems. They don't get tips. Not the best customer interaction. And so I want to specifically talk about that. How do because you can be a good technician if you're super technically qualified. You do a good job. The window turns out perfect. Everything about the job is awesome. But if you don't communicate effectively to the customer, it's not an excellent experience. So I really want to talk about that. So first, it's building rapport, right? You want the customer. Let's go into what that means initially. So to build rapport, you want the customer to be able to trust you. They feel like you are a professional in the industry. They know exactly you know exactly what you're doing. You know how to take care of their house the very best possible. So to do that, I mean, there's lots of little things. Showing up on time, that's super important. Okay, it's like basic. Show up on time. Look professional. Look decent. Have your shirt on. I would say be fairly clean cut. Keep things looking professional. That helps. That helps like quite a bit. And smile. Be like, hey, how you doing? I'm so excited to take care of your home. Not as quirky as that, but act like you really care about them because you do. They're your customer. You love them. You want to have a good experience. So something I do too is when I'm doing the walkthrough and do a walkthrough, that's super important. So sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, I want this and this and this clean." I'll be like, "Oh, perfect. If you just want to show me, just walk me through, show me exactly what we're doing, and that way we can talk about any future problems I see with the job, like things. Okay, this is going to be an issue. This is going to cost more. There's some hard water here. It's not going to come off with the regular cleaning. So you want to go into all of that step by step as you do the walkthrough. Okay, and also you're building trust too. Because like the more you talk about that type of stuff, the more they realize, okay, like this guy really knows what he's talking about. I trust him. It seems like he's not gonna, cheat me. He's gonna be honest. Okay, because you say, here's something I'm big on too. If you show up and the job's like way smaller than the quote over the phone, be like, okay, like you only have this much. I'm not gonna charge you. Don't charge him. Charge him the honest price. Be honest. Okay, you gotta stick to it. So yeah, build value as you're going around the home. You're building value in yourself. You're creating trust. You also want to relate to them. Ask them about something they have in the garage. Oh, it looks like you're doing a project over here. Or the little old ladies, for instance, they love this. You see their garden, and you're like, oh wow, what a beautiful garden. Lots of times they're like, oh well, let me show you, and they want to walk you around it and show you all the plants. Super easy. So things like that. Just talk to the customer, relate to the customer, have a relationship with the customer. Okay, do the job, do a good job, right? But here's something else that's key too: is the final you can do a final walkthrough. Sometimes I do it over the phone. Sometimes they're not there, so I do it over text message. So once you're done with the job, okay, you want to let them know everything that went on with the job, everything you noticed, everything you saw, anything that doesn't look perfect. Okay, lots of times, doing window tracks. I don't know if you guys do window tracks. When you're doing the window track, there's a window right here. Lots of times it doesn't look perfect. You can vacuum it out, you can scrub it out, you can wet wash it out, you can do everything, but there's still stuff caked in the corners. Um, at least with me. I just tell the customer like, hey, we did a really thorough track cleaning there. It's not perfect. It looks good. I spent quite a bit of time per track. It's not perfect, but it does look significantly better. So let them know. If you see any scratches on the windows, pre-existing scratches, hopefully not from you, let them know. If you break anything, let them know. I think that's important too. Things go wrong, and that's okay. But be honest. I'm big on that. Pretty much, I've damaged people's homes before, but pretty much every time I really upfront, hey, I'm so sorry. Look, this happened. I tried to prevent it, but it still happened in this way. Um, I'm super sorry. I want to make it right with you. Um, I think that's really important. And so pretty much every time I do that with the customer, they're like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, not a big deal. So that's important. And tell them when you break stuff. Okay. So the final walkthrough, that's key. Okay, you're doing a thorough walkthrough. You're showing the customer, okay, this looks really good. Man, that glass was dirty. Gosh, there are so many fingerprints here. It looks really good. So that way in their mind, they're like, wow, this guy, first of all, was super detail oriented. He did a really good job. He didn't damage my house, or at least he tried not to. He let me know when he did. And they don't feel the need to really go through and critique all of your windows. Like, so a lot of technicians will be like, okay, we just finished. Your payment is due. It's going to be, 290 something dollars. Okay, I can take that over the phone. Okay, that's okay. That's a good technician. At least he's collecting payment, but it's not great. So he needs to say, okay, this is what went really good. These windows look really good. We had a hard time with the hard water downstairs. Looks way better. We did multiple treatments of our hard water treatment. Looks good. I would recommend getting your sprinklers readjusted so they're not hitting the windows. Okay. So you want to go into all that. Any damage to the screens, any scratches on the glass, any damage to the frames, anything that you're seeing really. So let the customer know, even when you're on the phone. Maybe like, I'll spend like 5 minutes just like telling them, hey, blah, 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 blah. This is all that went on, everything, and talk to them and be their friends and smile when you're on the phone. And then I'll be like, okay, so what we're due today is, give me this much money. We can take a payment right now. And then take that payment, okay? And be like, thank you so much. And lots of times too, when you're more thorough with them through all the steps and make them feel like, hey, you're really focused on doing a perfect job, the best job you can possibly do, they're going to tip you more, okay? You're going to get more positive reviews, more callbacks. It's better for everyone. Also, it's a more pleasant experience. You're not going to get a redo. Redos are bad. I don't know how you guys get paid on redos. We don't charge on redos. I don't pay my technicians on redos. They've already been paid for that job. They've been paid for that work. They need to do that work up to satisfaction level, for the customer. So it's just a better experience. I think you're gonna have more fun. You're gonna enjoy spending time with customers. You're gonna care for them. I really care for my customers. I say I love them. You wanna care about them, and they're gonna care about you too. That's what's cool. These customers are going to refer people. I mean, gosh, I can't even emphasize this enough. I get more tips in the service industry as a technician than anyone I've seen. I get a ton of tips. I mean, there's key. And lots of times I'm like, oh, no, you don't worry about that. You don't have to do a tip. And they're like, no, no, no. Or I come in with a price at the end and I'm like, well, it's this much. And they're like, well, they're like, it seemed like it was a lot of work, or you did a really good job. Can I pay you more? I mean, how often do you guys get that people ask to pay you more? So that's really good. That means you built a ton of value. Okay, your cleaning system was the best. You told them why the cleaning was the best. You told them what didn't go. You told them the shortcomings. You showed them the successes. Even if there are times where you get super old windows, or just damaged windows, and it doesn't look that good, really. Or maybe it's the ones with the multiple panes, and it's like they've added on windows. I don't know, some weird circumstances, but pretty much you're not cleaning those inner panes, and there's debris in them, and so the windows don't look perfect. You need to tell the customer that. You need to be honest. You need to be like, hey, I got this perfect, but you have, tell them about their situation. Let them know. Lots of times they're moving into homes. They don't know what's going on with their glass. They don't know, when the seals break. Have you seen that? And there's moisture between the panes when it's supposed to be sealed. The double panes is supposed to be sealed. Let them know, like, hey, your windows are going to need to be replaced. Let them know about all that stuff. Gosh, I just feel like I can't emphasize this enough. Obviously, I'm talking a lot right now. Just like this, though, I talk to the customer. I talk a lot. I tell them a lot. I want them to know everything that's going on. Super important. It really is. But yeah, do that, and you will be more successful as a technician. So, I mean, obviously do a good job in the cleaning, but really that communication is key, and becoming their friend too. So lots of times, I mean, they can get anyone to come and clean their windows, realistically. What makes you stand out? And for me, and this is me and my business, it's really kind of loving on the customer, caring about them. For instance, I'll do a house, and if there's extra stuff just around, or a lady has a couple light bulbs out. I'm super tall. I'm 6'5", just so you know. I'll be like, oh, I can change that for you, and I'll offer. She doesn't even say anything about the light. I see a light that's out, and I'll offer. Okay, Go above and beyond. These people love you so much after that. It's important. You're going to get tipped more. You're going to get more callbacks, more customer referrals. It's going to be a more positive experience, and you're really going to enjoy being a technician because instead of just being someone who's out doing a crappy job, which cleaning is a crappy job, it's going to become really rewarding for yourself. So that's kind of my spiel. I just want to talk about that. I have a lot of experience, so I just want to get that out there.